Good evening, and may the 4th be with you. Tonight is celebrated by Star Wars fans around the world as Star Wars Night, which continues throughout the weekend, and also on this channel throughout the whole month of May. Last year was a big anniversary for both Star Wars and Morrowind, my favorite computer game. So last year I came up with the idea to do May as kind of a celebration of Star Wars and Morrowind. So that's what we're going to do this month. Every stream is going to be related to one of those two themes. We also... Well, all the streams except for one or two, because I'm going to continue running the Lego Architecture Cities series I've been doing. I don't want to stop it for a whole month because I want to get that one done by summer. There's only 6 cities left, so we should be able to finish that by July. So I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 of those this month. But other than that, it's all Star Wars, all Morrowind. Morrowind is the main game on my favorite computer game. And if you look at the history of this channel on my YouTube, you'll see that I play Morrowind more frequently than any other game, but I haven't played it on the channel since holiday season, since December. So we're overdue. So we're going to do some Morrowind this month. We're going to do a lot of Star Wars this month. But we're going to kick off our Star Wars celebration for the month by having a random discussion today. I've been away for much of last week, which is why I didn't stream. It's been a week and a half since I streamed. So I've been away much of last week and didn't really have time to get anything planned for today. And then I wasn't feeling well after I got home the last 2 days. So now here we are, and I have nothing ready. So we're just going to have a talk episode tonight. We're going to talk about all things Star Wars. We are joined tonight also by a special guest host, BretTheBreton, who is joining us by way of Discord.
Hello.
And he is an expert on all things Star Wars.
I don't know that I'd go that far, but I'm very much an enthusiast.
You know more about classic era Star Wars. I know about new era Star Wars. I think it's where we are. We're about even.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that assessment.
All right, so we also... Hold on. We have one more... We have one more special guest today as well, if he would like to talk to us. I know sometimes he takes a little while waking up, just like me, so... Let's wait a minute and see if my other friend starts talking to us. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm getting a call. All right. Hey, Glenn, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Are you joining us for the Twitch? We're actually live right now.
I guess.
All right. Let me merge you back into the other call because right now we just have a solo call. Okay. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. How do I add a person to your call? Hold on 1 second. Hey, Brett, you there? All right, guys, technical difficulties. Give me a moment to find our peoples. All right, let's try this again. Hello, you guys there?
Live broadcasts are fun.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay,
we go. Okay.
so in addition to Brett the Breton, we also have a surprise appearance by our other surprise guest host, QCaller 2, who wasn't sure if he could make it tonight, which is why I didn't list him in the description. Also, I ran out of characters. You guys want to
Yeah.
introduce yourselves real quick before we start talking about random stuff?
Just so you guys know, the job isn't completely done, but I'm so glad I got a basin wrench.
All right. Star Wars talk only planned for tonight, but yeah, sounds
I
good.
know, but there's a reason I may not have been able to join you
All
guys.
right, we're
I'm gonna
switching
get to
back.
that reason.
All right, let me switch the Twitch over to Droid Cam. So there, those on Twitch can now see R3EV. And also, I brought out my little Grogu for this, but R3 will probably knock him off the desk at some point. But so, all right. So Twitch has Droid Cam because I didn't have time to plan a background, but we'll be switching over to the browser in a few minutes. So I can show off some stuff through the browser, I guess. We can do images through the browser once I do that. All right, so Star Wars. Lots of Star Wars.
May the fourth be with you all.
And R3EV is joining us too, Q, in case you didn't hear that part.
Of course, I heard it.
All right. So R3EV, Twitch, you guys have met him before. He's kind of the channel mascot now. My lighting isn't the best. Let me see. If I throw this desk lamp, does that make him look... Oh, that washes him out. What if I point this... yeah, I'm trying to figure out which way... Oh, shoot. I just lost Droid Cam. I just totally pulled my camera out. All right, you guys start talking about Star Wars while I bring the droid back.
Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and dive in on this.
So
This is the thing. Go ahead.
I'm actually very behind because I have to rewatch Obi-Wan because the day that Evie and I watched Obi-Wan, we binged it, but I was having a particularly bad day the day before, and I ended up dozing through Obi-Wan, so I have to rewatch Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
not watched Andor or C3 of Mando yet.
So
Okay.
if I told you about the last episode of Mando, where the... No, I'm kidding.
Glenn, just so you know,
Of course, joke about that, Brett.
of course, I do have to give you one spoiler for Mando. Basically, a bunch of stuff happens. The end.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff happens for 8 hours. 8 hours of epic stuff happening, including droids, Mandalorians, and other stuff.
Well, that's the case of any of the Star Wars series, really. I still like the Cad Bane figure from Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, should we tell them about the Weird Al secret appearance?
There was a Weird Al secret appearance?
No, there wasn't.
No, but there was a Jack Black secret appearance. And that one's...
Dude! Okay, that's a spoiler.
I didn't tell him what he does. I didn't tell him who he is or what he does.
Okay, so just to give your audience a little background on this, I was getting ready to watch. I hadn't seen. I forget which movie it was. It was whichever movie. I guess it was. It was the second one in the new movies. What the heck was the name of the thing? Last Jedi, I think it was. And I was talking with Evie about it, and he said, "Well, I have a thing, but it's not a spoiler." I was like, "Okay." And then he says, "Well, there's the scene where Yoda burns down the Tree of Knowledge." I was like, "Wait, hold it! That's a spoiler. That's the textbook definition of a spoiler." Because I had no idea Yoda was in the movie, but that's where.
I remember that conversation. I was on that conversation.
Yeah. I instantly hung up. I think I was like, "Oh my god!"
Hey, I don't know if you guys have my...
Obviously, I wasn't angry about it, but.
Hey, I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have my Twitch window open, but is it okay if I show the Twitch crowd my Star Wars pins real quick?
If you wanna, I don't care.
If you don't have the Twitch window open, you're not going to see this, but you can always watch the recap later.
Yeah, I don't have Twitch open because my computer would die.
All right. So for the next 2 minutes or so, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. But I'm switching to my other camera, which I set up so I could do things that don't fit necessarily in Droid Cam. So Twitch, you're looking at one of my 3 pin boards. Yes, R3, I know it's incomplete. I ran out of money and I don't have enough money to buy more pins to fill in these gaps yet. Eventually. But here we go. This is the Star Wars section of my pin collection, starting here with the old Star Tours logo pin. And then we have this Young Jedi Adventures diorama. And let's see, can I improve lighting a little bit? Because these are looking a little grainy. That makes it a little better. So Star Tours, there's Jedi Adventure, Jedi Temple. That's, no, that's not working at all. That's Jedi Mickey and Donald is Maul on that diorama pin there. They actually discontinued that show. And then here's the 4 Her Universe pins that they released. They're not...
Ooh, is that Jar Jar?
No.
I can see this.
It's... Unless... Did Jar Jar ever have a trans operation?
I
'Cause
don't believe so.
Her Universe is a series of female-focused merchandise, including pins. For example, the Queen Amidala here says leader. The Leia pin says trailblazer. Rey says independent. And Ahsoka says survivor. Moving on, here's my Rebel Squadron Leader series. Blue Leader, Red Leader, and Gold Leader. And above that, a couple of, you can see the First Order TIE shuttle from Black Spire Outpost, along with one of my Black Spire Outpost area pins. The Endor Battle Patch. Yeah, yes, that is R2-D2 and C-3PO in the Star Tours pin. And above them, the DJ Rex pin from the Cantina, which is actually Captain Rex, the droid, not the clone. But in the original Star Tours, the pilot was a droid named Captain Rex. And and after Star Tours was rethemed and C-3PO and R2-D2 took over, Captain Rex actually is now serving out his retirement as the droid DJ in Oga's Cantina at Galaxy's Edge. So here's Stitch pretending to be Palpatine. Here's an old Star Wars Weekends pin from the Star Wars Weekends Festival they used to do long before there was a Galaxy's Edge. Here you can see my Droid Depot builder pins. The R builder, that's the one I actually did, R3 Eevee. I haven't actually built a BB or a C yet. Over here is my Black Spire Outpost logo pin. And if you open it up, you can see a scene of the marketplace. You can see the back of Chewbacca and R2 is next to him, and then some stormtroopers in the background. And then over here, the centerpiece of my Star Wars pins collection is the 4 theme pins from Savvy's Lightsaber Workshop. So off top left is Elemental Nature, which is a theme I built. Then you have Peace and Justice. The one that looks like a hand is Power and Control, the Dark Side lightsabers. And then the bottom right, the one that looks like the Jedi logo, is Protection and Defense, which is kind of Old Republic inspired. So I'll set that camera back. We'll probably put more activity on that camera later. And in the meantime, let me switch back to the Droid Cam. And
so while you're doing that, Jar Jar was not transgender, but he did find out he had a sibling at birth. He had a sister, and once he found this out, he renamed himself to Jar.
I don't get it.
There were 2 of them. Now there's 1. It was the only thing I could think of on the moment.
Oh well,
I got a better one.
Is it about that bounty hunter who likes to drink tea?
No.
Because there's a Star Wars bounty hunter who really loves his tea. His name is Boba Fett.
My wife really loves boba tea, and I told her that she should figure out how to make it, and then figure out how to, instead of like tea flavorings or whatever, put Alfredo sauce in the boba, so that we could have boba fettuccine.
Oh.
Yeah.
That one was better. Okay, good. Okay, here's one. Why did Luke Skywalker never get married? He was looking for love in Alderaan places. Alderaan.
Yeah.
And it's not there anymore. Tough crowd. Tip your wings up.
All those are stretches.
In
Yeah, I like the
There-
Alderaan places one. I stole that off the internet today.
in Star Wars, in the Star Wars galaxy, you cannot drink hot chocolate because it is frozen.
Okay, I get it.
Another bad one. Glad you take a shot, because clearly we're coming up empty. All right.
I don't have one off the top of my head yet.
Yeah, they're pretty specialized. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had an Emperor one and I forgot what it was. So. Yeah.
Hey, should we take a look at Google? Should we go Google some Star Wars stuff?
Nah, that's well, I don't know. It's up to you guys, I guess. But I wanted to launch into the Star Wars discussion with talking about Return of the Jedi.
Oh yes, this is May the 4th is usually a big deal, but this year it's an extra big deal because it's the 40th anniversary of Episode 6. But before we go into Episode 6, I want to pull up my browser for a minute. So let's go ahead and put DroidCam into the corner. Hold on. All right, where's my DroidCam? Right there.
You're doing the thing I showed you?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but first, if it'll let me get into my
This is
settings.
super cool.
So I'm going to take the DroidCam. We're going to put him in the corner here. What do you think looks better for DroidCam? Top left, top right, or bottom left?
I don't have it open.
What do you think would look better?
Top left. Yeah, sure.
Top left. All right, we'll go top left.
I don't
And
know.
we're looking at Twitchception right now because I'm in the wrong browser tab. It's that thing where it makes the infinite screens because you're showing your Twitch screen in your studio. So let me switch over to the other tab. I'm on Google, and supposedly I have heard that Grogu has visited Google today. And if you guys know anything about Mando, you know how cute and adorable Grogu is. And here we are at Google. We searched him, and there's a little Grogu playing in the corner here. You can see him animated. So, and there's an arrow actually pointing at this little animated Grogu. Yes, R3, I think that means Google wants us to click on that. Let's see what happens. Oh, wow.
He uses the Force on your search results.
So they say Palpatine is famous for his killings, right?
Grogu is famous for his
You could say
cuteness.
Palpatine's famous for his killings, right?
Yeah.
You could say he's a true Death Star.
What's I remember now. What's Palpatine? Dang it, hang on. What is the Emperor's favorite Canadian dish? Palpatine.
Where do Star Wars villains do their shopping?
Saks Fifth Avenue.
At the Darth Mall.
Oh.
Why doesn't Luke Skywalker like orange juice?
Because he prefers blue milk.
What?
Because he prefers blue milk.
Well, maybe. But orange juice has too much Palpatine.
God. I posted a meme earlier today that was a picture of Yoda, and it said, what was the caption? Prosper and live long.
So why
Who knows?
why do Jedi go to Switzerland when they want to sing?
Something to do with the Alps. I don't know.
So they can Yoda.
Oh,
I think Grogu's destroyed this page enough.
yeah. So anyway, Return of the Jedi. All right. So just to if we needed anything to underscore, this was surprising even to me. This was very surprising. If we need anything to underscore the fact that Star Wars still is a very dominant cultural IP and is still relevant to modern times and all these sorts of things. Disney brought it out for limited release. Apparently, it was only in like 200 theaters. Was what I was told by someone. I don't know if that's true or not. I could probably Google it. But regardless, when I went to see it last night, was it last night or night before last? Anyway, I went to see it with a friend, and we had trouble finding a seat. We actually were going to go to a different show, but it was sold out, and so we had to look at a later show. And even then, there were only like 5 seats available in a pretty decent sized auditorium. And I was like, wow, is this happening everywhere? And I did a little bit of searching, and it opened, let's see here, it opened to a $4.7 million weekend, an average of 10,300 per screen. The first film opened in 1983 to a return of $252 million. So for it to make 4.7 just over a weekend, being a 40-year-old film, that is really, really impressive and shocking that it was so busy.
Well, they don't make movies like that anymore.
I guess not. I mean, there's I think still a thirst for the original. It's good filmmaking.
I mean, Hollywood these days has been really weak.
I will say, I've really enjoyed what Disney's been doing with Star Wars. There has never been a better time to be a Star Wars fan than now, with all the constant releases of new content and all that. But I will say, there's one place where I feel Disney really messed up, and that was undoing the ending of Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Seriously, what did Luke do all that work for? Seriously.
I mean, Star Wars purists hate the Disney era only because of that.
Yeah, I will say though,
and a lot of people refuse to watch the new content because of what Disney did to Return of the Jedi.
I will say that's the only thing I really didn't like from a storytelling perspective during the Disney era. At first, when they announced, hey, all the old expanded universe is now Legends and thrown out, when they announced that, I wasn't really happy with that at first, because there were a lot of great stories in that era. Knights of the Old Republic, Shadows of the Empire, Force Unleashed, just to name a few. But I actually do appreciate that move, because the extended universe back then was a mess, and now with Disney seems to be keeping a better control on it. And so making sure that the Star Wars galaxy doesn't quite get as convoluted as it was before. Because
we say that, but then see what they did with the last 3 movies. That's a topic of discussion.
Force Awakens was a pretty good start. It wasn't until the 2 directors decided to get into their little argument and take it out on the movies instead of just dealing with it in person behind the scenes, And because they took it out on the movies, it really messed up both Episode 8 and Episode 9 from a storytelling perspective.
Evan,
yes?
Brett was trying to say something, and you're bowling right over him.
Yeah, all I was going to say is that I don't really think it was so much an argument. J.J. Abrams came in and gave Rainn Wilson carte blanche to do essentially whatever he wanted, because he wanted to do something fresh with the franchise or whatever. And that's all well and good, but the movie caused such divisiveness amongst the fan base that there was panic after that, and that's when J.J. Abrams came back and said, "Oh crud, we need to undo a bunch of this stuff," and so it just there was no roadmap. It wasn't well planned.
I mean,
Yeah.
taken alone, Last Jedi on its own is a pretty good movie, but taken as part of the trilogy, it kind of falls apart. But Episode 9, in my opinion, there was no cohesion in Episode 9. The story didn't really make sense from a storytelling perspective, just because they were trying to undo Episode 8.
You know what it made me think of, especially watching like the last parts of Episode 9. It made me think of a kid playing with Star Wars action figures. Oh, now they're in a big fight. Oh, here's the Emperor. Emperor comes in. Do. He comes out of nowhere. Oh my god! And here's Ray and what's the other guy's name? Kylo. Here's Ray and Kylo. Oh, and now they're gonna kiss. Oh, that's what it felt like.
You know what it reminded me of?
What's up?
It's the whole it's the whole what do you call it? Satire of Spaceballs coming to fruition. It reminded me of the obsessive evil character playing with his dolls during a
Yes.
scene which which you think is dark.
Yeah.
Dark scene meaning not shown.
Right.
Off camera action.
All right, I'm switching on Twitch. I'm switching cam to do a little bit of visuals. You guys won't see it, but I'm switching cam to do a little bit of visuals over here. And
No,
you can.
sir, I didn't see you playing with your dolls again.
No, I got
No,
something
no.
way better than a doll here that I'm about to show off on Twitch. Twitch has seen this before, but
Evan, Evan, you're missing my point. I was quoting Spaceballs.
Yeah. Yeah, Spaceballs is a good movie. You guys should see it. But today's not about Spaceballs, it's about Star Wars.
Well, Spaceballs is kind of Star Wars adjacent. I mean,
it is Star Wars adjacent. But
it's Star Wars satire is what it is.
Yeah. Merchandising.
Merchandising.
So on screen right now, I'm showing off my single most expensive piece of Star Wars merchandise. Why is my phone ringing? Hold on.
Lightsaber.
Okay, that phone call wasn't for me. That was actually Michael calling Audrey, so we're good. No interruption to stream. So stream, if you see this, you've seen this before. You've actually seen me take this apart and put other parts on, but this is my actual, except for the emitter, because I actually switched to the other emitter in the theme because it was a better look. But this is my actual build that I did at Galaxy's Edge. And of course it's going to fizzle because I haven't put the blade in yet. See, the Galaxy's Edge lightsabers are not like the ones in the movie. They actually have a separate blade piece you have to put in, which I am doing now so that I can show the Twitch stream, because it's been a few months since I've shown off lightsabers. I just pulled out the one for tonight. I just pulled out the my Galaxy's Edge lightsaber. I didn't pull out the other stuff. But yeah, you guys keep talking. I'm just going to get up for a minute and show off this lightsaber on the camera.
I forgot what we were talking about.
I'm just doing visuals right now. You just keep talking about Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Do you remember, Glenn? We were talking about something.
I was relating some of the satires.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's been a number of those. Let's see. I wonder, could you count the holiday special as a satire? I mean, I know it's not, but I have to bring up the holiday special because I'm like that. And it was the holiday special was one of those things that was the reason that I think it's more important, I think, than most people do, is because it's one of the few pieces of Star Wars media that really link it to the time in which it was actually made. that makes any sense. Because the movie could have been made any time. The movie still, all the movies still hold up today as still feeling, pretty modern. I did notice in Return of the Jedi, when I watched it theatrically, um, how some of the like I noticed it on a couple of like the part with the Rancor pit monster. It was still really well done. It was basically a puppet, but there were a couple of little things leading up to that. Like there was a tentacle arm that came out from one of the cages under Jabba's palace and sort of grabbed C-3PO. And looking at it now with much more grown up eyes, I can see how the tentacle wasn't articulated and didn't flex or anything like that. It was basically a hook covered in foam. and it kind of it's showing its age a little bit around the edge, but all in all, still feels like a very modern experience. And there's nothing
For
really.
for what for what they had, I like all of the practical effects that they used.
Oh yeah,
And for what they had time, it was very well done.
oh yeah. Some of them were just incredible, like all the motion tracking stuff.
Of
And
course,
John Dykstra, I think, came up with he called it the Dykstra Flex. He was the
and of course those were early days for computer effects. And even then, they are the CGI effects in Star Wars are very modern, very ahead of their time.
I don't know that they really had any CGI stuff in the original trilogy. CGI wasn't. Oh, when did
It
Jurassic
was
Park come out?
starting.
Like the first Jurassic Park, because that was when it was really like ready for prime time, so to speak, and it had been developed
Yeah,
for a few years.
but like Star Wars around the late '70s is when they were starting to experiment with it.
I would
And
want to challenge that a little bit. I don't think there was any CG stuff in any of the original three films. I think it was all practical stuff, which is part of the reason it made them so expensive. Um, but that said, it was not long after that CG started being used for various different things. Jurassic Park, like I said, that was the first time that was taking such an upfront role in a film. There were a few things that had been done before that. I remember there was a Jaguar car commercial that had like a car morphing into a Jaguar or something like that. And at the time, that was like, whoa, my brain's melting. I am gonna look it up though, because I don't know for sure. It would have been right around that time though, or a little bit after.
Hey, I pulled up a couple of picture quizzes. You guys want to go in with me? And I'll open up the browser on the Discord so you guys can see it.
Sure, but are we gonna talk about Star Wars anymore? Or?
Yeah, we can talk about Star Wars when we finish. I figured this will give us a chance to do something fun while we have the stream rolling.
Yeah. Before we can, that's totally cool, but before we do that, I did have one question since you guys are a little bit younger than me. I am exactly the generation that is like the perfect age for Star Wars. I saw the original film when I was 7 years old. Um, I saw it on a 16 millimeter film print in this funky little theater on the west side of my hometown. I saw Empire Strikes Back at a slightly better funky little theater in my hometown. And I saw Return of the Jedi the first time for free because we had a new and slightly better again theater that came in that had like 6 whole theaters in it, which was amazing at the time. And they had a free day during its run that they opened up and just had everybody come in and look at it. And it was from like 10 to 6 or something like that, and then they went back to tickets. But yeah, I popped down and watched Return of the Jedi for free, and that was pretty cool. So what the point of all this is you guys are a little younger. What was your first exposure to Star Wars? We'll start with Evan and switch over to Glenn. Like when was the first thing that you saw, and the first time that you saw it?
All right. Well, obviously it wasn't in the theaters when I first saw it. But I remember, oh, this is going way back. A kid I knew in elementary school always brought in, Star Wars toys to the lunchroom and to recess. And no, that had something to do with me saying, "Oh, this Star Wars looks interesting," but I never really did anything with it. Then, if kids have birthday parties.
Yeah.
At one of my birthday parties, somebody, as one of my birthday presents, had gifted me the. Do you remember the old Micro Machines opening heads play sets?
Oh yeah, they pulled it out to form a scene or something.
Yeah, somebody gave me one of those. I forget which one because there was a time I had all of them, so I forget which one was like that very first one. And so I was looking at this toy, and I was kind of playing with the figures inside, and I'm like, okay, well, what are these scenes really? What's the actual context for this scene? Let's go watch the actual movie. So over the course of a weekend, we had an old VHS box set of the original trilogy, and I just watched through all three movies. And I don't think Glenn watched yet at the time. I think he watched a few months later. I don't remember him watching with me. I could be mistaken. This was many, many years ago.
How about you, Glenn?
Hang on. Our conversation, the last angle sparked me to research. There was computer work, but it was mainly in like blaster fire and like when they showed the Death Star plans, that was all computer generated. But the physical and um and the effects were practical.
Did we just lose Evan or something?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. It sounded like.
Yeah.
No, I was just adding my screen to the Discord.
Anyway,
Okay. Anyway,
did you hear what I said?
I did. Yeah. The closest thing I could find was an article from Platt College. In the first films, much of the visual effects work involved actual physical creation of blah, 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 blah. CGI barely existed in 1977, so Lucas and his team went on to transform the visual effects industry. Blah, blah, blah. For the 1977 Episode 4 A New Hope release, Industrial Light and Magic was formed. During the production period for the movie, I can't even talk. ILM, headed by special effects designer John Dykstra, the guy who invented the Dykstra Flex motion control camera, constructed robots and spaceship models from scratch. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on to talk about how it's changed through the years. Here's the thing. For example, in the first trilogy, the exploding Death Star was created using cardboard and bits of titanium, and Yoda was an animatronic puppet. The scenes of Luke and Owen's home dug out of the ground were shot in Tunisia, and Luke's land speeder was able to look as if it was gliding across the sand by using wheels hidden with mirrors that reflected the sand around them.
Yeah, I figured that's how they did the land speeder. Most of the stunts and effects were all practical. Most of the special effects were practical. Or I'm sorry, all of the special effects were practical. And then the sets, the full size sets where they needed actors on, were built to scale with backgrounds that were matte paintings, etc. There was computer work in the blaster fire, and a little bit of the dogfight where the X-wings are shooting at the TIE fighters and vice versa. Basically blaster fire was computer generated, and CGI was pioneered by ILM.
In fact, the very first Star Wars video game was based on those computer models from the Death Star. Yeah. What are you talking about, Glenn? You know that that scene in A New Hope, right before they go to the Death Star, where the rebel general is showing the
Yeah.
plans on that computer in the base, and it's all wireframe and stuff.
Yeah.
That
Right.
was actual computers of the time.
Yeah, that would have had to have been.
Yeah, I know.
And then
So,
the very
so
first.
when they're showing,
Oh no, I don't want to try freaking YouTube. Jeez Louise.
yeah, when they're showing the Death Star plans, that was CGI, and the blaster fire was also done with computers.
Yes, and the very
but everything else was practical.
and that
See, I saw a thing where they actually were painting on the film cells with the blaster fire.
that very first Star Wars video game was actually a simulation of the attack on the Death Star, and it used those wireframe models that were used in the movie.
The computer graphics for the first Star Wars film were created by Larry Cuba in the 1970s at the Electronic Visualization Laboratory, at the time known as the Circle Graphics Habitat at the University of Illinois at Chicago. Oh, there's like a little sizzle reel. Oh, this is cool.
Do we
YouTube it.
Do we want to take a look at these two quizzes?
And then what did they do with? How did they do? I know for the lightsaber dueling, they used practical like stunt blades.
Yeah.
But how did they create the light halos around the blades?
In the very first initial release, and you can see this if you watch, if you can find clips of it before it's been CG overlaid. They had lightsaber hilts with a motor in them that spun like a plus sign shaped piece of, I don't know if they used, I don't think it was cardboard. I think it might have been some sort of lightweight, like maybe a plastic material. I'm not sure, but it was covered in reflective tape, and they had a light that was directly over the set, shining down just on the sabers with two different gels on the lights to generate the different colors. And initially, it was just picked up that way.
Oh, I have a lightsaber history fun fact. The reason why the Sith only have one color, but the Jedi are traditionally associated with two colors, it all comes down to effects and the movie making process. Did you know that?
I thought it was just to keep the characters more separated.
No, actually, because originally in the original plans for A New Hope, George said the bad guys have red, the good guys have blue, period, and that was fine, and that's how it worked. And then they made Empire Strikes Back, and again in A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, the duel scenes are all indoors, so we only see the lightsaber blade inside. But then they went to make Return of the Jedi, and Luke was using his lightsaber in the battle in the battle with Jabba's people on Tatooine over the Sarlacc pit, and they found that the blue blade could not be seen that well against the sky. Using the effects of the time, of course, and later on when they made the prequel trilogy and Attack of the Clones, they used CG and made the blue lightsabers bolder so that they could be seen against the sky. And when they were filming Return of the Jedi, they had trouble seeing the blue blade, so they said, well, this is a different lightsaber anyway, and we explain later it's a different lightsaber. Let's make it a different color, so one, it contrasts with the sky, and two, when we explain later that it's a different saber, people don't get confused. Hey, this is a different saber. So they made green because green's a nice complement to blue. And then later on in they came up with the prequel trilogy and the Jedi Order, they ran with it. And blue was used to represent the Guardians, who are Jedi more based on Force abilities. And green was used to represent the Concealers, which are Jedi that are more based on wisdom. So having two colors to represent the Jedi made sense from a Jedi Order kind of organization kind of point of view too. So it's just a happy accident during the filming of Episode 6 that led to a lot of lore when the prequels came around.
That is interesting.
Yeah, but Yeah, all along, the lightsaber in episode 6 was going to be a different saber, because you'll recall Luke lost the saber at the end of episode 5, and he built a new one. So, but if it was the same, if it would have been the same color, that wouldn't have been as obvious. And I know they talked about it in the dialogue, but it would not have been as obvious. So that was also good on that front as well, from a storytelling perspective. So,
Yep.
so I have this quiz up.
One of the changes, I will say, I'm going to shift gears. I'm gonna say one of the changes I did like in Return of the Jedi during the triumph, the celebration at the end on Endor, and the 3 Jedi ghosts are shown. I like that they switched from the old scary Darth Vader to Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker.
It is a little bit better continuity if you look at it, because you'll recall old man Darth Vader never existed without his scars. So that Force Ghost appearance would not have made any sense for the character. But by switching it to the way he appeared before he was scarred, that made a lot more sense for the character as a Force Ghost. And I know it was a controversial change, but it was one that I welcomed.
And it showed Anakin's arc of redemption too.
Yeah, that change didn't bother me nearly as bad. The one that really bothered me about that sequence was they changed the music. I hated that.
Yeah.
I still hate that.
All right. Do you guys see?
You got rid of yub yub. I want my yub yub.
Do you guys see the share screen on the Discord?
I already opened it.
Okay, hold on one second, because I dropped something. And this is a thing that is not easily replaceable.
I actually do not see the shared screen.
Yeah, it's Star Wars Day. We're not going to go there.
It says you're sharing, but I can't see it.
All right, I found it. I found the thing I dropped. So we're good. So on the Discord, you should see a picture of the browser, and there's a Sporkle quiz. I have 2 quizzes loaded. They're both picture quizzes. One is planets, one is characters.
Yeah, I see it now. Let me go to the screen on this.
Which one's the first one?
We're doing planets first. And I think, in the interest of fairness, we take turns.
Tatooine.
What?
I'm taking the first one. That one's Tatooine.
We'll take turns. We'll take turns unless we get to one where none of us know, in which case we'll discuss, okay?
Did you know there's a city named Tatooine in Tunisia, spelled differently?
All right, Brett, it's your turn.
Oh, I didn't know we're taking turns. Oh, God, I recognize this. I don't know. It's not...
Hey, pause the time.
Huh?
Why are we pausing the timer?
Hi, Mom. Mom's walking in.
You might mute.
Is that Mr. Brett?
Yes.
Mr. Brett?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. You're on Twitch right now. We're doing a Star Wars discussion for Star Wars Day.
Yeah, we're broadcasting on the...
R3 is here, too.
Okay. Can I get through?
Yeah, you can. Give me about a minute and a half to let Mom in, and then I'll be back. What?
Can I watch Diplomat?
You already watched the last available episode.
Oh, I did?
Yes, episode 8 was the last available
That's
episode.
one hell of a
Hey, Glenn?
cliffhanger.
Hey, Glenn, you want to mute your mic so it's not on the stream?
Yeah, I'll be back. Evan, don't continue the quiz yet.
Well, if he's streaming it, he...
How about this? Brett and I will do this quiz, and you can join us for the character quiz, because that one has...
I want to see it.
See the faucet.
No, we can wait. It's fine. Okay, so Did you say something, Eve?
No,
Okay.
our
I thought
three
you were.
did.
Um,
He's been
so,
contributing to the conversation. He's been saying a lot.
um,
He says we've been ignoring him and talking over him.
Glenn?
No, our three.
Okay.
You
I
didn't
was
hear
gonna
him
say,
whining just now?
I did hear something, yeah. It's kind of in the background, but
Yeah, that was in his whiny voice. He says we keep talking over him.
oh, well, hey, he's got Bluetooth. Have him connect up to the computer, and we'll have no choice but to listen. I know that's not the way he rolls, but still,
He does roll. I mean,
he does roll. Yep. Let's see. Trying to think of any other interesting Star Wars news I have. Oh, here's an interesting Star Wars news for you. Um, During the theatrical screening of Return of the Jedi, I kid you not, I somehow or another, I don't know how, I found a typo in the credits.
really.
Not a joke. I'm serious. And you can see this because I looked at this after I got home to make sure that I wasn't crazy or something. But it's there on the Disney Plus version as well. I think they just used the same version and just shipped it out to theaters. But there is I forget the category. It's one of the special effects artists, I believe, and his actual name is Scott Bonenfant. There's someone with that name on IMDb that's worked on a bunch of different movies, and he's listed as working on Return of the Jedi. However, in the credits, he is listed as SXOTT Bonenfant.
Oh,
I just happened to look at the screen at the right moment, and I'm like, how would you pronounce that? Saxot? Yeah, and someone pointed out that the X and the C are right next to each other on a keyboard, and I was like, okay, that
okay.
makes a lot more sense.
Meanwhile, even though it's not strictly Star Wars, it is a big multi-movie franchise being run by Disney. I looked up the new Ant-Man movie from Marvel that came out in the theaters a few months ago is finally hitting Disney Plus 2 weeks from yesterday on May 17th.
Okay.
So yeah,
Oh,
I'll be able to be caught up on Marvel again after that.
cool, good. Well, speaking of dates in May, this actually is not the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. It was actually released on May 25th, just like the original.
I am back.
All right, let's.
Empire Strikes Back was released, I want to say it was May 21st. But Glenn, just to catch you up, I was just telling Evan that this actually is not the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. They just did it because of the date. It was released on May 25th, just like A New Hope.
So Glenn, the other thing you missed is I found out that Ant-Man 3 Quantumania, the new Marvel movie that came out a few months ago, finally has a release date on Disney Plus, and that's on May 17th.
Well, I didn't get to see it in the theaters, so I can't wait. When is it?
May 17th. So maybe we can watch together when I
Okay,
come to
cool.
you, because I'm coming to you around then. We have to talk about that off
maybe.
stream. All right, let's get back to the quiz.
So yeah, first one was Tatooine. We already got that. It's Brett's turn.
Yeah, and this is it's got to be Coruscant, right?
We're on a timer, and yes, I'm agreeing this is Coruscant because I know this one. So now
It's weird.
It's my turn. My turn. This is going to be Hoth. Glenn's turn.
Is that? Naboo?
Is that you cut out? Can you repeat yourself?
Naboo?
Naboo is
Yep.
It has to be.
And by the way, the waterfalls in that were not CG. It's salt.
Yes.
Like salt.
And Naboo is such a beautiful. It's a beautiful planet. It's hard to believe that the most evil person in the entire history of the galaxy, came from there. Brett's turn.
It's Tatooine again, right?
No.
I don't remember where Rey came from. I have no idea.
I will take your turn then, per the rotation. This is Jakku. Ray's
yeah.
desert planet.
Yeah. Oh, I know this one.
It's
Can I
Glenn's
say
turn.
something?
It's Glenn's turn.
All right.
And guys, step it up. We got 4 minutes on the
Camino?
Is that where?
Yeah.
Is that Camino?
It is.
Yes.
The clone planet.
Camino.
Brett, you're up.
Yavin.
Specifically Yavin 4, but yes.
Yeah.
Cantonia, home of the Canto Bite Casino. I think it's called,
Yep.
or maybe it's just called Canto Bite, but the planet itself is Cantonica. Okay. The planet is Cantonica, the city is Canto Bite. Glenn, you're up.
Let's see. This is Revenge of the Sith.
No, this is Attack of the Clones.
But I know exactly where it is.
Brett, you're up. I'm watching the timer. I'm gonna run strictly on the timer now. Brett,
Yeah. Is this?
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is.
too much discussion. It's Geonosis.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that. But
All right, Glenn, you're up again. Either of you, just spit out a planet.
I don't remember the name of this one. It's where Saul Guerrero was.
Rogue One, Jeddah.
Yeah.
Kashyyyk.
Very good. Good memory there, Glenn.
Alderaan.
There's nothing funny about this picture. This
Nobody's
picture is a
taking
sad picture.
Nobody's taking that one from me.
Space dust.
All right, this timer is concerning me. I'm gonna put in Utapau.
Yeah, I'm at a loss on this one. It's
Takodana. Takodana.
Yeah, that's where the cantina is. Penn State Maternity Ward.
No, this is Polis Massa.
I was close. Polis Penn. This is a crazy red dirt planet.
Crate. Not to be confused with crate dragons, which are unrelated and on a completely different planet.
This one I know. I know one. It's Bespin. I was gonna say I know one. Damn it.
I just said that.
Dairy bar.
Dagobah.
Dairy bar. Oh.
I'm a little more lax on the timer now because we've only got 4 left.
Guantanamo.
It's Scarif from Rogue One, where the Imperial base was.
Oh, I know this one. At least I think I know this one. Is it Mustafar?
Endor.
Endor, not to be confused with Andor. Both heavily associated with the rebels.
Ireland.
Well, it was filmed in Ireland.
Was it Ireland? I don't know.
Well, actually, I think it was Wales. I think it may have been Wales. But, same area, same general area.
Sure, it looks like the Scottish Highway.
It's called Ochto. Ochto, the ancient Jedi planet.
It's Porg Hub.
Yeah. You know the story about why the porgs exist, right?
Have you been to porghub.com?
Yeah. Should I do that on stream while I got the browser up?
Yeah, you can. It's funny. Unless somebody's hijacked the URL now.
Nope, it doesn't exist anymore. But you know what we can do? You know what we can do?
Wayback Machine.
It won't bring back the Death Star designer, but should bring back Porg Hub. If it will load.
I saw a headline the other day that there was some kind of problem with archive.org, and I hope that this is not what's going on here.
Let's just do the other.
All right, we got.
There it is. Yeah, this won't take long.
Am I still showing on the Twitch is the question. Yes, I'm still showing on the way back.
It's just a fun little gag. I always thought it was neat.
All right, so that movie came out in, I would say we want to get, this might be the most recent hit, is this one right here.
It existed in 2011?
No, that's an error, though. In 2011? Porgs did not exist yet in 2011.
Yeah, what is that about?
I have no idea, nor am I going to care to check, because because of what this is based on. We're actually we're actually skirting on Twitch guidelines right now, so we want to get to the parody site.
Yeah.
Now it might be that we're seeing the error you were talking about. Last Jedi would have been 2017, so that's when Porg Hub would have been originally made. But you know the story of why the Porgs were even made into a thing. Yeah, it's not working right now.
Yeah, to cover up the actual birds from the site. I'll see if I can find some kind of link to an archive.
All right, and now we have Lego Star Wars characters. Because when you talk about Star Wars, you got to talk about Lego a little bit. Star Wars and Bionicle are the two themes that saved the Lego company from total bankruptcy and doomsday at the turn of the millennium. So Star Wars is a big deal for Lego. Star Wars is also the longest running theme.
Evan.
Yes?
Evan. First one is Kiadi Mundi.
Yes, we're taking turns again, so Glenn, that counts as your turn. Brett, it's your turn.
It's still okay. There we go. Kylo Ren.
Wrong. I'm stealing from you. Kieran Imwe from Rogue One.
Okay, whatever.
Glenn, you're up.
Okay, now hold on. We had Kiadi Mundi and BB-8, and I get the obscure guy.
Glenn, what did you say? I didn't hear you.
I said BB-8.
I actually have this Lego minifigure.
Yikes.
Brett, you're up.
Am I? Okay, I don't even know what we're doing now. Is that Django?
No, he's holding the Darksaber. See?
Oh, duh, Mando.
Now, this isn't a spoiler for the season, by the way, because this quiz was from a few years ago. This is actually a Clone Wars character, Pre Vizsla, the father of Paz Vizsla, who you see in Mando.
And this is...
This one I'm not sure.
Could that be... No, he doesn't have the head thing. We'll come... Agreement in coming back to this guy later?
Yeah, I still say Jake the
Yes.
Brett, it's your turn.
So let's see if I can actually do this one. Jabba the Hutt.
I was going to say Pizza the Hut, but we'll go with what you said. So my turn is Obi-Wan.
Yep. Actually, it looks like him too. That's pretty good.
Glenn, you're up.
I don't know the guy's name.
Antonio Banderas.
I think this is one of the Rogue One guys. Baze, maybe?
It is one of the Rogue One guys.
It's not taking Baze. Is it the pilot? Bodhi was his name? Bodhi Rook, okay.
Bodhi, yeah.
So I took that one, so Glenn, it's your turn.
Anakin?
Anakin Skyscraper.
Brett, you're up.
Okay, that's not Boba. Is it Mando? It looks more like that.
It doesn't take his real name, though. For some reason.
Well, maybe
my turn. Oh, is that Lobot from Cloud City?
It looks like him.
All right, Glenn, you're up. We're running.
Death Trooper.
Death Trooper? Let's go with it, because there's a whole bunch of these different Stormtrooper variants throughout the saga. Brett, you're up.
The actor's name is Ben. I can't think of his name. He choked on his aspirations.
If you don't remember the name, tell me and we'll move on.
Yeah, I can't think of the guy's name.
All right, I'm sealing it. It's Director Krennic. And
That's
it's Glenn's turn.
Palpatine.
We had one package of popcorn. Did you finish them?
I guess I did.
Brett, you're up.
I will. I'll try it when I go to this.
that one's Bosk.
What's in there?
And my
I
turn.
had him over 3 meals.
Crud, this is one of the... Is this one of the Bad Batch? I don't know the Bad Batch's names. I haven't seen that yet.
There.
We'll skip this guy. So my turn is the B2 battle droid, the super battle droid. Glenn, you're next.
You long for your voice.
Glenn, you're up.
Is that Leia?
Let's try and step up the speed a little bit because the timer is running.
In Hoth costume. Oh, is this me?
Yeah.
Dark Trooper?
Well, we did the Death Trooper already, so it's not a... Is it a Shadow Trooper, maybe?
Maybe.
No, we'll come back to this guy.
Yeah.
This would be the Dark Trooper.
Yeah, that's Trooper. There you go.
All right, and then Brett, you can have this next guy.
I don't know who that is. He's Bob the gynecologist.
No, if you don't know, just tell me because we're on the timer. This is the guy.
I already said I don't know. I said that to start with.
This is the guy Ahsoka was searching for. Thrawn.
Oh. Yeah,
Broken image, which means we're not going to get 100. Glenn, you're up.
That's not happening anyway.
Oh, shoot, that's Boba Fett's partner in Book of Boba Fett. I forgot her name.
Same actress as Mulan, Glenn. Same actress as what?
Fennec?
That is correct.
Okay.
Glenn, you can take this one instead because Brett took yours.
Is that Jyn Erso?
No, that's Padme.
Padme.
Yeah. Padme. Okay, that was my next guess.
What the heck?
All right, this is a guy from Rebels. What was his name? Conan Jarrus was the good guy who was opposed to this guy. So he was Agent Callus, maybe his name was?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's Constable something.
No, I think this is one of the Clone Wars bounty hunters, Embo.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Glenn takes this one. We're giving Glenn the easy one.
Is that Boba?
We have to step up. We're really running down this timer.
We got 13 minutes. That's fine.
We have 100 more of these things to figure out.
Be stressed when it's time to be stressed. That is, well, is it Glenn now or me?
Just give me an answer or I'm going to start typing. I know who it is.
I don't want to step on his thing. Newt Raygun?
Newt Gunray, yes.
Or Gunray, whatever.
So, Glenn, it's your turn.
Rancor.
Oh.
Oh, that was the...
If you guys don't know the name, tell me, because I do remember the name.
I can't remember it. It was...
Glenn, do you remember the name? We're looking for names, not who they are. You don't remember the name? Her name was Zori Bliss.
Yeah, that still doesn't know.
Either one of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plo Koon.
Okay.
Here's another one of those Bad Batch guys. Do we want to...
Yeah, I don't know them. I haven't watched that.
Oh, is that... Let's see, Rebel Insignia?
Is that Rogue?
No, that wouldn't be... Is that Sabine, maybe? Sabine without her Mando helmet?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, the actor came back in a new role.
Yeah, saw that. Count Dooku.
And this would be the IG something Magna Guard, Grievous's bodyguards. Glenn, your turn.
Greedo.
Brett,
Oh, I don't know its name. BB5.
Dio.
Yeah. J.J. Abrams.
Brett, go again.
Mace Windu.
This actor, let me pause for a moment. This actor was
Now he pauses.
this actor was in all the Disney studios. In Pixar, he was Frozone in The Incredibles. In Marvel, he was Nick Fury. In Disney Animated Studios, he was Cobra Bubbles from Lilo and Stitch. And in Star Wars, he was
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu. I already said that.
Yeah.
Let us carry on.
Is that Rose?
No, that's Zam Wessel, the bounty hunter from episode 2.
Oh, yeah. With the big chase and everything.
Glenn, you mentioned her earlier. Do you not recognize her now? You're strangely silent.
Jin?
And that's a basic stormtrooper.
That's your standard everyday stormtrooper.
But only if I spell it correctly. And that's a sand trooper.
Yep.
Sand trooper. Grievous.
That's General Grievous, Glenn.
Bib Fortuna, as portrayed by Michael Carter, who stole my pen.
This is Grandpa Grogu.
Yoda.
Grandpa Grogu.
Yoda.
Hold on, I'm frozen right now. Finally. Now, I have this thing. I have this thing I believe in, where if you call Grogu Baby Yoda, you have to call Yoda Grandpa Grogu, because it only makes sense. Because the two characters don't even know each other, if you want to be real about it. Moving on.
Space pilot guy.
Glenn, you have a guess? 1, 2, 3, Poe Dameron.
Yeah, Poe Dameron.
Okay, that was my next guess.
And this is a standard B1 battle droid.
Qui-Gon Jinn Tonic. CP3O.
3PO.
Vader.
Dark Father.
Oh. He's from he's from the cartoons too. I don't. Is this Kanan? Kanan Jarrus, the escaped Jedi? All right, we're moving on.
Aura Singh.
That is, yeah.
That's Rose.
Yeah.
This is Rose.
You mentioned her like 5 times, and yet you didn't recognize her when she actually came up, Glenn.
Well, he got it. I just said it first.
I think that's Adi Gallia, one of the Jedi. I don't know how to spell it, though. I could be wrong about her name, but I think it's Adi Gallia. And this, of course, is...
IG-88.
Is it IG-88 or is it IG-11?
I would go with 88. Yeah. Phasma. Oh,
Cad Bane. You're not taking Cad Bane. You're not taking Cad.
All right. What was her name? Jana from
Cad
that.
Bane is my.
All right. Her name was Jana, right?
I think. But type it in. See what it is.
It's something with a J, but it's not taking it. So.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And we are.
Cad Bane is my.
Okay, we got it.
Did you hear me?
What?
That's Django.
I said Cad Bane is my favorite villain.
Yeah, no, it's not Django.
It's not Django?
Is it Paz Vizsla, maybe? We got Prey Vizsla earlier. It's not taking that either. We'll have to come back to this guy.
Weird.
R2D2.
Broken. We'll move on.
That is Ula.
That's
Jawa.
that's Maz Kanata in her Tatooine disguise.
Jack Purvis, rest in peace.
Here's another one of the Bad Batch guys.
Yeah.
We talked about this guy's droid who had the same name as this guy, but we didn't talk about this guy. That's Captain who? Head of the 501st. You guys know this guy.
Parcels.
Rex.
Oh, duh. Yeah, okay.
The guy you're thinking of, Captain Tarples, is a Gungan.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this Snoke?
Yeah. It looks like a Snoke. I heard he's a little chewy.
Chewbacca.
Oh, now we do have to panic on the timer. Finn.
I'm going in, yeah, because of the jacket.
That's Ajan Kolar. He was one of the 4 Jedi Masters cut down by Palpatine.
The Klingon.
Maybe it's not Kolar. Maybe this one is Sicey Tin. I always get the two confused. Because they both have similar alien heads. Well, I didn't... If it was one of them, I didn't spell it correctly. Let's move on.
Oh, freaking.
Ahsoka?
No!
Oh, yeah.
Shakti.
Oh, yeah.
This is Baze from Rogue One. We tried him on that earlier one.
Crazy machine gun dude.
Oh, is that the Dexter?
I remember Dexter.
It's not taking it. Wait. Ponkrell, maybe? Ponkrell. He was...
Wait, so it's not.
Now, you guys mentioned him before when you were wrong about him. Now you have a
This
chance...
is Django.
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 Now you have a chance to be correct about him.
Darth Maul.
Former head of the Mandalorians and a crime syndicate, the Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn, yeah. Black Sun.
Yeah. He was in charge of both Crimson Dawn and the Mandalorians for a while. Who's this guy?
He's one of the bounty hunters. I don't know who though.
Dengar.
Ah, okay.
That looks like Bad Batch again. All right,
Luke Skywalker.
we're stepping things up because we only have 4.5 minutes to do 50 of these.
Hey, you keep spouting random facts, and me saying puke instead of Luke does not slow things down.
So this one be Sicey Tin. So the other one was Agent Kolar. This is a Grief Karga from Mando.
That's Lando.
Glenn, let Glenn do the next easy one because he hasn't been in a while. That's Maul's brother, Savage Oprez. He's in the Clone Wars. Oh,
I think you might have said this one earlier, Glenn. I'm not sure.
Is that Andor? I think that might be Andor.
Yeah.
Isla?
Yeah, sure.
Isla Sakura. This is Luminara Unduli. That's Chopper from Rebels. You can build him at Droid Depot.
Huh. That's, well, you know,
Is that Tarkin?
I think it's Tarkin.
Is that Tarkin?
Yeah.
And that is
Zuckus.
no, Forlom maybe? Forlom.
That's right. I always get those two confused.
Ah, is that Gideon? I think that's Gideon.
There's
Glenn, easy one. He's at Galaxy's Edge.
Kylo Ren.
Snowtrooper. All right. And that's a Tuscan.
Tuscan Raider.
Tuscan Raider.
Mascanada. That is one fifth brother, I think. Fifth brother from the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
That is the Armorer.
Okay.
That's the Armorer. Yeah.
3 seasons and she still doesn't have an actual name.
And there is Ahsoka.
That's Ahsoka.
And that is Saxon, I think his name is. The Mandalorian who supported Maul's takeover. Let's see. We had Luminara, so this would be Bear Sophie. She was the Padawan who betrayed Ahsoka and made Ahsoka leave the Order.
Grogu! Grogu and his great buggy eyes.
Solo.
Han Solo.
That is one of the Inquisitors. One of the sisters. 6th sister, 7th sister. We've only got a minute and a half and like 30 of these guys left. So that's going to be Bail Organa. Speedrun! Speedrun! Watto.
Watto.
Droidica.
Yeah.
Asajj Ventress.
Ah, good.
Commander Cody. Kit Fisto.
What are you making? It smells good.
That's the Wampa. Glenn, are you not good at speedruns? That's Ezra from Rebels. That's
that's the one that got kicked
Cara
off.
Dune. Cara Dune.
Yeah.
That's Saboba.
Boba.
That's Bo-Katan Kryze. That's Rey.
That's right. Yeah.
Akbar.
It's a trap.
That's Clone Trooper. The original armor.
Yeah.
Gonk Droid.
Power droid. Yeah.
17 seconds. How many of these can I knock out on the speed run? Harrison Dula, pilot on the Rebels. That's Quinlan Vos. And that's what's it? Zeb.
Zeb Aurelios.
All right. Okay. Who did we miss because we timed out? Enfys Nest, I would have gotten her. Hondo Ohnaka. I was waiting for him. He's such a cool character in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. But that's exclusively a Disney Parks thing, right?
No, he originated in Clone Wars. So this guy's had a long life because Galaxy's Edge is set in the sequel trilogy.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, after retiring from whatever he was doing during the Clone Wars, he eventually borrowed the Falcon from Chewie and used it to open up a transport business.
Hey, here's
Coleman Trebor, I would not have gotten. So we only missed from the tail end.
Evan, Glenn's trying to say something.
Here's one. Disney sells a Wookiee cookie, right?
What about it?
In Epcot?
No, Hollywood Studios.
I hear it's a little chewy. No, the Wookiee cookie's in Epcot.
No, the Wookiee cookie is in Hollywood Studios. It's at Backlot Express.
Anyway, what's the joke?
I hear it's a little chewy.
Actually, that joke works because the Wookiee cookie is one of those oatmeal sandwich cookies with a cream in the middle. So that joke...
I saw a meme earlier today. It was 2 stormtroopers sitting down in the canteen or whatever, and one of them asked the other, "Hey, how's your steak?" And the other one has the Lego Chewbacca on his plate, and he says, "It's a little chewy."
Yeah, so from the ones we missed at the tail end, I would not have gotten Coleman. But Hondo, Enfys Nest, and Zeb, I would have known those. Oh, Zeb came back. Did you notice him? Obviously, I can't say where because Glenn's on the line, but did you... He's from Rebels. Did you notice his little appearance?
I did not. Yeah.
He
I
was
haven't. I've only watched everything once, so I need to go back
Yeah.
and watch it again.
he was in that New Republic Outer Rim bar where that captain was, the X-wing pilot guy, who was.
No, I think I do know the scene you're talking about.
All right, so the other ones we missed. Grand Inquisitors. So this must have been him with his helmet. I don't think I've ever seen the Inquisitor with his helmet.
That's a step up from the economy Inquisitor.
Tech. This guy's name was Tech. He's one of the Bad Batch. And then we had Eth Koth. So I had him confused entirely with another alien Jedi. This is Wrecker. This is Commander Wolf. I forget which of the Jedi he was associated with. This is Stas Ali. So I said Adigalia, so I was wrong.
Amygdala.
When it comes to the Jedi minor characters, I can be forgiven. Hunter. And then we missed Wicket was a broken image.
You would have known that one.
We would have known that one. Crosshair. Crosshair, he's another Bad Batch. And Echo.
Yep.
So, and we missed Gregor. Who is this guy? I don't recognize this guy. Do you recognize this guy?
I do not.
All right. Who is Gregor in Star Wars? He was a clone commando. He. All right. So he's a clone, I guess.
Evan.
Yes.
Evan.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get off soon and finish the. I'm gonna have to get off soon and finish the sync.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah,
so there he is.
I needed to drop as well.
Yeah. So that's this guy. This guy.
Huh.
He's one of the clones.
Yeah.
And with that, we did pretty well. We got 87%. Average got 56%. So I'd say we did pretty well on that. So we've been running stream now for about an hour and a half. So let me find someone to raid out into so we can debrief and hang up. All right. So I'm now back in my Twitch window. And
while you're prepping all that, I just want to say happy Star Wars Day to both of you, and may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah. Yes. John Lee music would be perfect to raid into because he's a major Star Wars person. He actually has Star Wars stuff in his studio, and on Tuesdays he wears a Chewbacca suit. But he's not on right now, so instead I am going to raid. There's a lot of good musicians on right now. Let's raid Issa Sings. She's pretty good. So it's not a Star Wars musician, but let me set up the raid. So anything you guys want to say before I wrap this up here? I'm initiating the raid right now.
Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for thanks. Just thanks.
All right, so let's do this. Let's put the cam back up. So droid cam for a few last minute moments as I raid Isa Sings. You're gonna love her show. Everyone, like is tradition on this channel, let's go enjoy some good music. Good night. Thank you, QueCaller 2. Can I call you QueCaller 1.5 because you have both identities?
Just call me QueCaller.
All right, thank you to QueCaller, BretTheBreton, and R3EV for joining us tonight. We'll see them again soon, hopefully. And we will be streaming again. I'll probably do a couple streams over the weekend. So have a good night. Happy May the 4th, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
How was the stream?
Are we out, Ev?
Oh my gosh, I have something in my eye. I think it's my eye. It's my lash.